Now let's check and see if we are everywhere we need to be. Let's see here.
Tag the post.
See that? So we are live. I just have to make sure that we are sharing this everywhere so everybody can get this.
And I see your icons at the bottom of your screen too.
Oh yeah, that's just how it works. It'll be all right. It's good information. Nobody's gonna care what else is on the screen. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Let me share this out. Okay, we are sharing it to the page. We are about to share it to the groups. Make sure everybody gets it, because this is going to be too good for people to miss. Okay, I think we are all shared out. Did you get a chance to share, Miss Maleeka? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, guys, so I am Sha Cannon, and my story is that I'm a paralegal for 12 plus years for Fortune 500 firms, 2 of them in my entire 12 plus year career. And I had a total income of six figures, but I was not happy. When I would go on vacation, I always wondered, what would it be like for my life to be like a life on vacation? And so I needed more freedom. I've always been an entrepreneur at heart. Ever since I sold candy in middle school, I've been an entrepreneur in one way or another, and now I live what I'm calling a Propel lifestyle. And that is, it's kind of like that laptop lifestyle, but it's on steroids, right? So I can live and work my business from anywhere in the world. I started this journey last year, starting with Belize, and now I am in Mexico, and I am loving it. And I try to share that stuff with you guys. You can always hit that hashtag Propel Lifestyle and find out what I got going on in different countries. Now, my mission is to use this Propel Lifestyle and this living and working all over the world to teach as many entrepreneurs as possible that you too can create a life of freedom and funded by your business. Okay, we're not doing businesses as hobbies out here. We're actually having a business that makes money, and that money funds our lifestyle, and our lifestyle is a lifestyle of freedom. Now, the how for you entrepreneurs, I position you to propel your profits by increasing your credibility through publication, your visibility through content, and your bankability through basically development of your products and services, okay? And so I love doing this thing, and I sometimes use my superpowers to help a few VIP clients with their scalability, okay? Now, enough about me, because I want to tell you guys something you've been kind of waiting on since you realized that I said I was in New York City. I was in New York City, and I was sponsored by a huge brand. I still can't tell you who the brand was. I still can't necessarily tell you what we did for the brand yet, but it's coming. I promise you, as soon as I can release that information, I will. But these are a few things that I can tell you, okay? You already know it was all expenses paid. I live in Mexico, so the flights, they flew me from Mexico to New York City and back. The hotel in Manhattan, the Chelsea area of Manhattan, all meals were taken care of. And this is the funny part. We got spending money, okay? Spending money. 5 days, 4 nights in New York City. And what we did, we went to the Wax Museum. We went on a Statue of Liberty cruise. We did a Times Square tour. We ate good. We ate good. We drank good. We had other client meetings, even though we were there for a huge sponsor, and we did other networking. And what we do for the sponsor, that work took us all of 1.5 to 2 hours, okay? 1.5 to 2 hours for the actual sponsor that brought us to New York City. And there's a possible part 2. So when we hear about that, I can't wait to share it with you. And I keep saying we, because right there with me was my publicist, Maleeka Hollaway. So let me tell you guys how helpful Maleeka was, because to do things like this, it takes a pitch, okay? So you need to know how to sell yourself as valuable to whoever you're trying to, you know, be on their platform, right? And it has so many other PR elements that when I tell you, I don't know nothing about that, right? So to facilitate it all was Maleeka Hollaway of the OMG agency. Okay, and if you don't know who she is, I don't know where you've been, because she got so much social proof. Okay, I don't know where you've been. So she's been published in Huffington Post, on entrepreneur.com, also in Business Insider and Forbes. And Maleeka, now that they know who you are, the one thing that I want to ask you before you teach these people, whether or not they are PR and mass media ready, I have one question for you, and that is, what is the biggest misconception entrepreneurs have about PR, public relations?
That it's easy. They have a misconception that it is an easy job. I think like Samantha from Saving the City has people confused about what we actually do. Like, we just show up on red carpets and look cute and pretty and we're made up and we get paid to shop in stores. Like, number one, there is nothing easy about what we do, because in order to be a successful publicist, a successful PR professional, in order to be a successful business person, you have to know how to communicate. And not just when you speak, but you have to know how to write as well. It's the biggest misconception people have is that, number one, it's easy, and number two is that it's only for celebrities. Woo. It's not anything that I like have set in stone, but one of my things that I say is, I don't work with celebrity clients. I make celebrity clients.
Wait a minute. You don't work with celebrity clients. You make celebrity clients. And let me tell you, in New York City, I felt like a celebrity. I
did too. And if I can add a 3 to a misconception,
yes,
is that PR is the same as sales and marketing. Like, it's gonna solve all your money problems. That's a misconception too.
It is. Which drives us into what you're here to teach us, right? Because if you don't have the money, you might not be ready. So
I didn't write that down as one of my points. We can start with that.
Yeah, let's start with that one, because that's the truth of it. If your business is not making money, you might not be ready for PR, is what I have learned on my own. So in your professional opinion, what are some other things? Teach us, oh, great one. How do we know when we are ready for public relations and mass media?
So if we stay right there on that, if your business ain't making money part, because I know I've said that many times when I've went live or if I've done master classes or other interviews, podcasts, whatever. My big thing is that a lot of times when people come to us, the first thing they're saying is, I need PR so I can build my business. And I'm like, well, this is the thing. If you come to me because you say you need to build your business, that lets me know that you don't have a brand awareness / PR problem. You have a money problem. And so the conversation is completely different. And so if we can make that number one, now I'm gonna have 5 points.
Yes.
If we make that number one, if you're on a money roller coaster, and that's what I like to call it, I know when we're starting out in business, we're all on roller coasters. Yes. You have good months, good quarters, good years, and then you have very bad months and days and hours, and like, your money is real funny a lot in the beginning.
Yes.
And when we get those clients, which we love, our clients range from newbies all the way up to seasoned people. When we get those newbies, one of the first conversations we're having is a money conversation, because PR, like one of them, our PR groups is called Women in PR. They just posted the definition of retainer and how it relates to us in PR. A lot of times, what happens is that people think, oh, I can just pay you $500 and you're gonna give me all this press. No.
500, huh? That big 500?
Yeah, no. Or I'm gonna pay you $500 every time you get me a piece of press. No. That's not how it works. We're not doing that pay-to-play stuff over here. We in PR work off of retainers. And if I could just quote that picture they put, the definition of retainer is, number one, a thing that holds something in place. Number two, a fee paid in advance to someone, especially in like in the case of attorney, to secure or keep their services when required.
Yes.
We work off retainers. And so we get paid based off our time, energy, and effort. Of course, that means getting you the results that you want. But a lot of times our hours are very non-traditional. We're not working 9 to 5.
No.
We're around the clock because stuff goes down at any time. And so, number one, if you're having a money problem in your business, there's gaps. If your money is not flowing, in order to be able to support a retainer, I guess you may not be ready. So let me give you 4 points to tell you how to get ready.
Okay. That's what we're here for. We're ready.
Number one, you have to know who you are and what you have to offer that's different from everybody else. If you've been in business for any amount of time, you probably heard people say, like, what's your USP, your unique selling proposition? I sometimes interchange selling with serving, because all the time we are always selling, but sometimes we just show up to serve. What you're doing right now, you're serving people.
Yes.
And so what makes what you do different from anybody else? If we're talking about you, you're not just talking about living a laptop lifestyle, you're actually doing it.
Yes.
And we're there with you. We see you doing the results of your work. And so for you or for anybody else, you have to know who you are and what makes you different from the next person.
Yeah.
Because it could be a million hairstylists, but there's something about you that makes you different. Maybe you only use products that you make in your kitchen, or maybe you've been doing hair since you was 3. Like, maybe there's something about you that we can make a newsworthy angle to be able to get you out there. But a lot of times people are not clear.
Yeah.
Who they are and how they sell or how they serve, and that makes our job really hard.
And that's probably why they're not making money, right?
It's why they're not making money, because they are not clear on those things. And I would dare say, oh, it's simple. It's not. It takes a lot of time to get clear on who you are and what you want to do as a service or a product, and then who you actually want that product to reach. Because when you start out, the more you in this thing, and that's in any business, you'll realize this is not what I thought it was. And so if you want to make sure that you're attractive to the media, if you want to get ready to be able to bring a publicist on and retain a publicist, I'm going to keep saying it that way, retain a PR team, you have to be really clear on that. And a good team, especially my team, that's part of the work that we do. We help you get clear. Because if you're not clear when you come to us, when you leave us or while you work with us, we're going to make sure that you are clear so that really you can make that money. Okay? Number 2, you have to know how to tell a story. A lot of people struggle with telling their own stories, let alone telling their brand story. Like, they're trying to hide. It's like, all right, I make the iPhone, but I just want the iPhone to be the brand. I don't want anybody to know I'm the Wiz. Let them know I'm the Steve Jobs behind it. And so a lot of times what happens is we interact with people. And so because we don't know you, the person behind the brand, a lot of times there's a disconnect. I know plenty of times there's been people who are not ready for my services, but may inbox me or email me and just say, just because you shared that story, I've been following you now 4 or 5 years. And I'm like, wait a minute, what did I say? Because half the stuff, you talk and you're like, okay. But people are showing up from a story I told 5 years ago about myself, about the business, about whatever it is. And so you have to be able to tell a story in a way that makes people want to pay attention.
Yes.
So I'm not talking about getting on Facebook Live and you riding in your car and you just rambling. Don't nobody want to hear that.
Don't nobody want to hear it.
Nobody wants to hear it. But if you're telling a story that can help somebody, that can help them in their personal life, in their business, or sharing information that they don't already know, you have to position it not in a way of just sharing information, but giving them a story that they can actually benefit from. That's what journalists are looking for. That's what editors are looking for. That's what, like, the news, the radio, all these publications, they're looking for stories to tell. They don't care that you made $1 million. They want to know what were you doing before you made the $1 million, How did you make the $1 million, and what are you doing now that you're making the $1 million? The fact that you're making the $1 million is only one piece. There's a timeline. Those are the things they need to know. And then how can other people duplicate what you did? Most time people go into trying to get media and they're always thinking about them. You know, I want to be featured on this, and because, you know, people will see me as credible, and they will. But at the end of the day, if you want to continue being seen as the authority, because again, I work with people that are authorities. We're past the expert stage. I leave the expert to the amateurs. I work with authorities. If you want to continue for people to pick you up and want to tell your story, you have to make it interesting for them. And that means thinking past, what can this one opportunity do for me? All right, so that was number 2. And then number 3, you gotta know how to stay relevant. A lot of times in business, we are very inconsistent. And I say we on purpose. Because I know when I get in my moods, I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that today. I just don't feel like it. And sometimes that mood can last for a week or 2. But what happens is there's some time that's missed in there when you're not consistently doing those things to make you stay relevant, to make people keep paying attention to you. One thing you do really good, Shay, is that you stay relevant. You always live. You're always posting a picture. If you go see another part of Mexico, you are taking everybody along for the journey.
Yes.
So even if they forgot that you moved out the country, you stay posted about Mexico so much that it's like, oh, she always relevant. Yep. And then, of course, you keep your business lessons along the way. A lot of people do that. And I'm not saying that you got to leave the country to stay relevant. Y'all know I live in Atlanta. I was in New York last week. Now I'm in D.C. for the weekend. And I just sometimes just post a picture that I'm on a plane. Like, hey, I'm going here. You're going to see me moving. You may not know all the time what I'm doing or who I'm doing it for, but I'm making sure that I stay relevant. And I do that by also focusing on my brand as well as my clients. When you're looking to like attract the media, sometimes you can't be so focused on how can I make money from this opportunity and staying relevant. Sometimes you got to say, how can I show up and give them something that they haven't gotten anywhere else? Because if you continue to do that and keep bring people along on that journey, that storytelling journey, you'll stay relevant. You'll stay at the top of people's minds. And then when these journalists, or even sometimes I get leads from people who have nothing to do with PR, they'll say, hey, I know you have people. Here's an opportunity for somebody you know. They're not the journalists. This may be another business owner. But what it does, because they know that I know people and I share my client stuff, or I'm commenting on my client stuff, I'm doing engagement. They see my clients and they'll reach out to me and say, hey, that one client you posted, this may be good for, this may be something that they can use. And so I'm always telling people, tell your stories and stay relevant. And then when you show up, which is number 5, I guess, show up with intention. If you're just showing up just to show up, I promise you, the media don't care. We know a lot of one-hit wonders. Or people that are still saying, I was featured on the USA Today bestsellers list 50 years ago. Who cares? Like that was 50 years ago. What are you doing now? And because they didn't take that chance, 50 years ago as that bestseller and ride that wave and continue to build that momentum, it's about what they're doing. Half the time we're like, oh, I don't even know what that book is, or I don't know what that thing is. When you show up, you have to show up with intention, because you have to have a reason. Like, why am I doing this? Most people say when you're, doing your client interactions, like people want to know what's in it for them. That's the same question that the media is asking. What are we getting out of this? What is this doing for our listenership, our viewership, our readership? Are you informing them? Like, what are we going to get by telling your story? And so you have to know, what are people getting out of it? Don't go into it like, oh, this is just going to look good on my resume. Yeah. I like to work with people who have a mission or a vision that's bigger than themselves. If it's all, I want this, I need this publicity so I can do this and so I can do that. I'm like, so when you do all of that, what does that do for everybody else? Yeah. And I'm very, I'm serious about that. Like, if you're not showing the intention to help somebody else, then it's pointless. And so I really want people to kind of rethink about what public relations and what publicity is. It's more than just building that credibility. So people can say, oh, if Forbes trusts her, then I trust her. Because we all know the media is really what sells everything.
Yes.
So the thing is, just because you show up in the media and you're in the spotlight, sometimes I tell people, be careful about how quickly you get in the spotlight, because yeah, the spotlight, it highlights all your flaws, just like it highlights all the stuff that's good. So if you're not prepared, you know, if your website ain't together, if you don't have those updated pictures, if you have typos throughout or broken links, or if you're selling a product and you say, oh, I want to be on Entrepreneur, then you're on Entrepreneur, and then all of a sudden you run out of inventory because you never had it to begin with. Those are things that we have to pay attention to. And so when you show up in the media or in everyday social media, because it is a media form, you have to show up with intention and know what you want the end result to be. And sometimes we can figure it out for you. This is what we want it to be. How about that? Yeah. Take the work off your hands. But you have to know, as a business owner, as a personality, you know, as a brand, because as people, even if you don't have a business, you're a brand yourself as a person. You have to know what you want the end goal to be. And the role of us in publicity or your PR team, ours is to help you get to where you want to be. Exactly. To help you people that you want to actually impact.
Exactly. And I love that, because you're currently getting me ready for more media for mass production. And so we're working on some of those things. But just to recap, are you ready for PR and mass media? Number one, you have to be clear on how you serve and how you stand out. Okay. Number two, you need to know how to tell a story relevant to who you are and how you help others. Okay. Number three, you have to know how to stay relevant, how to be consistent and being top of mind. Okay. And finally, number four, you need to show up with intention. You can't just be there to be there. You have to know why you're there and what you're going to do with why you're there and what you get from being there. So this has been awesome.
You gotta go back and put number one, and I guess make that number 5.
Okay. So the precursor, right? The prerequisite, okay? Before you get PR, you need to be making money in your business, because PR costs money. You have to put your team on retainer, okay? If you're not making money, you cannot put your team on retainer.
We can definitely help you, but 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna send you the check.
You make some money. All right, so all of that, even I learned something. Some stuff has brought things back to my mind that I need to work on to really capitalize, and especially capitalize in the way that I want to. And so this has been awesome, and I really appreciate it. I hope that everybody listening got something out of it. You guys, we don't really take questions during the interviews because they can be distracting. However, any questions that you have, put them in the comments and we are going to answer them for you. And so, Maleeka T. Hollaway, how can people keep up with you and stay engaged with you and follow you?
Okay, of course, if you go to Google, type in Maleeka Hollaway, you get about 12 good pages of wonderfulness that pops up. I am all over social media, but I would like for you to come on and join my private Facebook community. It's the Social Proof Success Incubator, where we actually are doing deep dives. We're about to like get revved up for real. We do a deep dive on what social proof is and how you can use that to build your business. So it's aspects of PR, marketing, sales, business strategy, how all of these things work together to show you as the authority in whatever it is that you're doing, because we work with multiple industries. So come on over to that group. You can find that at www.socialproofsuccess.com.
Socialproofsuccess.com.
Thing that I do. So come on in. It's the only free thing that I do. You don't have to have me on retainer to join the group. How about that?
Awesome. Well, this has been great, and I hope you guys have learned a lot. I hope that you get something out of this so that you can kind of get started, getting yourself ready for PR. And of course, when you're ready, you're going to hire Maleeka T. Hollaway of the OMG agency. And that's what we have for today. I have more guest gurus coming you guys' way, I promise, because I am serious about this mission. You guys ready to make money to fund your freedom. So that's what we have today. Put your questions in the comments and we'll be looking for them and we'll engage with you. If you have anything, questions, comments, whatever you got, put them down at you. I'm also going to put the, give us that link one more time, Maleeka, where they can join your community. What's the link again?
www.socialproofsuccess.com.
So www.socialproofsuccess.com. All right, so join her group so you get that free stuff, because trust me, she really is not giving nothing else free. Let me tell you. Let me tell you, she ain't giving nothing else free. So we'll check you guys later. Thank you so much, Maleeka, for all that you have done for me and now all that you have done for my community. I appreciate you so much. Have a great day out there in DC doing your thing.
Yes, ma'am. You too.